Okay, so here spawning at the top right, we got our blue Protoss playing for and representing the team of ITaX. Give it up for Astrea. And spawning here at the bottom left, we got our red Terran player playing for the team of Storm Gaming. Put your hands together for GUMIHO. And already we are off to a quick start, as it looks like GUMIHO will decide to start off this series with a bang. Gonna go for a proxy Rex. Looks like Astrea is looking to scout, but not scouting quite far enough. Now it looks like, luckily for him, he is going to actually start off with a cybernetic core first instead of a nexus, so that shall bring up the adept production a bit quicker. Or maybe it was a stalker if he decides to go for a stalker, but most likely it is going to be an adept opening. And let's just take a double look here, and as you can see, no vision of this. Now it's important to note that, you know, GUMIHO did take 2 gases. However, he did only place 3 workers onto the assimilator, so not mining like a ton, but mining a decent amount. Alright, how many probes can this Reaper get? Looks like for the time being only 2. However, I think oh, actually really nice kill there. It would have been so annoying for him if that bunker did finish and complete, because he would have had to make a additional stalker, probably maybe 3 stalkers, maybe a shield battery, assuming that the SCV did survive and the Reaper was inside of it. But luckily for Astrea, he's actually gonna be cleaning this up rather okay-ish. Did lose 3 probes, but all in all, he does have his Nexus, you know, much quicker than GUMIHO's CC, so he can kind of chrono boost that out. And it looks like things will stabilize after a very kind of chaotic start here. Looks like he's gonna be finally be able to start up production on that barracks, because of course if you do proxy your barracks, there's gonna be a bit of time where you have to kind of float it back home, and it's kind of delays your production. You can't make marines, or you can't make anything else, add in any add-ons into it. So, you know, Terrans, they just had to rely on their factories for at least a bit of safety. And a little bit of a risky decision here by GUMIHO. Like, imagine if Astrea did move out with his stalkers right now and put on some pressure. Like, GUMIHO would be so vulnerable right now, but he's gonna take the risk, and looks like it's gonna pay off, because Astrea has decided not to send his stalkers across the map and has elected to just keep them back at home, only being able to drop 1. So nice little snipe there. Oh, unluckily there for GUMIHO, did target fire on the probe that was going into the gas. And so no probes dying. So let's see the resource losses tab here. Yeah, looks like GUMIHO not off to the best start. And now we have Blinks finishing up and Astrea about to warp in. And what does GUMIHO have? He does have a tank. Actually 2 tanks. So that should help, but he's gotta siege them up like right now. Oh, Austria gonna get on top of both siege tanks. That is gonna be huge. And now the micro potential there is for Australia, and GUMIHO, he knows it. He's just gonna tap on out. After you lose your initial 2 tanks, this gonna be so difficult to micro against those blink stalkers, and Australia gonna go ahead and go up onto the scoreboard 1-0 in this best of 5 series. Alright, looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a skirmish here out in the middle. Kind of funny how 2 Hellions actually running away from a single adept. You would imagine, like, because Hellions, they do extra damage to light units. Oh, looks like that adept is gonna go ahead and be out of position here. Nice reaction time. Ooh, that was actually pretty close there. Alright. Overall, nice response. Even blocking the front here, so... Oh, actually, I think he blocked it a bit too much. Now the stalkers can't get out. Oh, no. Luckily for him, the blink is about to finish, but... at some point, he is going to have to... he is going to have to take that out. I actually would have let that wouldn't mind come, you know, finish the burrow there. But yeah, Australia just doing a really nice job taking very minimal amount of damage here to these Widow Mines. So overall, nice micro by Australia. He is on point this series here. Now, it's important to note that there is no third nexus here for Australia, so he's going to have to do a lot of damage with this counterattack. I'm not quite sure he is going to get too much damage with that tank over at the backside. A lot more Marines to defend this time around. But, you know, Australia, he does have the blink micro potential, so if he can maybe snipe off these tanks, and then use these stalkers to kind of kite away. But there's no zealots here to tank up the damage, and this is probably going to be it in terms of the amount of damage here. I mean, another tank is going to pop on out quite soon, as another tank is queued up in the production tab. Now, 14 SCVs did go down, but as you can see, still healthy amount of workers compared to his Protoss opponents, as Australia has decided not to continue making probes. Oh, actually he does queue up 2 here, but no early third base to extend his lead, so he is going to have to keep up the pressure, keep GUMIHO busy as he tries to reestablish his economy, as he's getting his third base, but and also getting under fire, getting under fire here at his main base to this Raven auto turret harass. Oh, a little bit of an overzealous blink into the natural there. You know, Australia could have definitely lost a lot more stalkers right there, but luckily for him, he gets out with the majority of his stalkers. And now, I think he's done it. I think he has put himself in a decent worker lead. There's no dirt base up yet for GUMIHO, as he is making it right now. But the Nexus is done. The third Nexus is done. So I think Australia has put himself back into this game here with a 10 worker lead. Not doing too healthy on the army supply count, but I believe he has, yeah, he does have charge, so, and he's adding more gateways. As long as he keeps GUMIHO contained, I think he should be fine. I mean, GUMIHO can definitely go for the counterattack, but at that point, he's going to have massive amount of weapons. So, yeah, I think he should be fine, although there is not a lot of map vision. He does have the watchtower at the south side, the bottom right south side, the watchtower. And now he's going to find out that there is a group of Marines out and about. Will he go for the recall, or will he just rely on the weapons to defend? Alright, looks like he does have enough zealots here. Or I guess chargebot rather. So yeah, Astrea gonna be in a decent position here, especially with this warping into the main base. I mean, the huge chunk of GUMIHO's army is outside, out of position. This is gonna do so much damage. The splash damage doing so much. Friendly fire will kill a lot of his SCVs, and oh boy, that was such a huge drop by Astrea. He knew where the army of GUMIHO was. He knew some of them were into the top side trying to harass his third base, and he was like, you probably don't have a lot at home to defend against a warping. And he was right. And now GUMIHO gonna be reeling. Let's take a look at the income graph. As you can see, a huge spike here for Astrea, as not only did GUMIHO lose 16 workers, but Astrea was able to force those workers off of mining. Alright, looks like this war president will finally be taken down, but I mean, the damage has been done. It has paid off for itself. And by all measures, I mean, Astrea is sitting pretty healthy, but he's not out of the woods completely yet. There is still a chance for GUMIHO. I mean, he does have +1 upgrade lead. He does have the army advantage. However, I think the thing that will favor Astrea is that he does have Storm Tech. Storm is up and running, and that means that GUMIHO is going to have a tougher time to engage. At the very least, the Storm will delay the attack, which means that Astrea is going to have more time to warp in his more army to defend and catch up on that army supply deficit. And look here, he's already got 4th base. He has his 4th base up and running at the same time that GUMIHO has his 3rd CC up and running. And I'm loving this kind of this tactic and the strategy here from Astrea. Setting up 2-prong attack with a War Prism in the backside, going for a 3-prong attack. He's playing like he's a Terran here. Alright, nice surround, but oh, beautiful storm there. Oh my goodness, beautiful storm. Even if his army does get surrounded and cleaned up, he does have another army here at the 3rd base of GUMIHO's. Not the best storm there, but I think all is fine as he does lift off, or force the lift off of that 3rd CC. So Astrea gonna go ahead and take the overall supply lead here. Makes the army supply much closer, and GUMIHO, he is just reeling in terms of his economy. Such a tough position for GUMIHO, especially with Astrea catching up on the upgrades, as Astrea does have 2 forges. Oh. Wait, does Astrea have a recall? Okay, he does have a recall in the main base. So it looks like he will lose his main nexus here, but I mean, look at the mineral patches. It's pretty much mined out, so that is not going to be too much of a detriment. However, he does probably want to reactivate his gateways here by placing a pylon. But yeah, you know what? Astrea has done too much damage throughout this whole game. And we'll go ahead and take the 2-0 lead. And look at what we have here, guys. Gonna go ahead and use the Inu cam here. But looks like GUMIHO gonna revert back to his sneaky days, as he does once again proxy. Now the first game he did proxy, didn't quite work out. And it seems like he's thinking, maybe I should try again, see if this one works out better. It's going to be more committed. It's not going to be a Reaper proxy. It's going to be a Marauder proxy with concussive shells. This is going to be more deadly, more committed, and I think this is going to work because I believe Astrea has not scouted this at all. Or did he? Actually, let me go ahead and double check here. Oh, actually he did. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was focusing on something else, but yeah, he did indeed scouted it, and does have the shield battery to help defend, which is a pretty great start, but he needs more units here. I mean, that shield battery energy just depleting really quickly. He's going to have the shield battery overcharge, but who's to say that GUMIHO doesn't just target fire on that shield battery, right? But it looks like Astrea, there we go, does have a second shield battery, which is going to be pretty neat. Oh, actually uses his shield battery overcharge there. Oh man, this is so annoying here. Alright, as long as Astrea is going to be able to keep his worker count relatively close, he should be fine. I mean, he does have 2 nexus. Oh, gotta make sure not to lose that second nexus. Oh, this is gonna be tough though, because the shield batteries, they are depleting in the energy. There's no more energy on these shield batteries. There's no more shield battery overcharge. However, this immortal is gonna be so huge. It's gonna provide so much firepower for these marauders. This is gonna be a hold here by Astrea as he pushes on forward, pushes GUMIHO back. And does he overextend? I think this is going to be okay. He does clean up the majority of the Marauder, so yeah, Astrea is going to be able to complete the defense, and he is going to feel safe to just macro up, to just create some additional probes. Hey, maybe even go for third base. He does have a probe there sitting at that third, so I mean, that backdoor third base is going to be pretty safe. Actually, I wouldn't mind him just going for the outside third base. The one at the 9 o'clock or the pocket third. The outside pocket third. Because, I mean, what is GUMIHO going to really do? He's not going to have a lot of army to take it down. And it does have more mineral patches and more gas for Astrea to take, so you know, I wouldn't have been surprised to see him take it, but looks like Astrea is going to go ahead and take the backdoor one in the end, so Ooh, ooh, oh wow. That was the money one. That was the money one. Well, in the blink of an eye, all this economic lead that Astrea has accumulated from this wonderful defense of the Marauder rush has just gone away, has just blinked, has just poofed into thin air. Now the great thing is that he does have 3 Nexuses to chrono boost out those lost probes, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that did hurt. As a fellow Protoss myself, I did feel his pain. All you Terran players out there are just thinking that was satisfying. That was better than any drugs out there. Oh, but hey, looks like GUMIHO doesn't have a lot at home here to defend, and I mean with some maybe some nice micro, although there's no proxy pylons, there's no war prism here to reinforce this push. Oh, actually, never mind, just a war prism right on top. So okay, it looks like if he decides to warp in some additional units, I mean maybe he can kind of row and bulldoze his way through the natural, but I believe GUMIHO has seized up his tank. Oh no, never mind, he's just moving out across. We might actually have ourselves a little bit of a base trade situation here. Oh boy. A little bit of an awkward situation, and Recall does finish. Oh! The stem does get the War Prism. That War Prism has so much units inside, and immediately Astrea just taps on out. That's unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. Alright, I see a little bit of some interesting placement of that probe at the bottom south side where the gold is. Is Astrea gonna go for the gold to go the third base here? I mean that would be pretty risky, but he is crazy enough to do such a thing. I have seen him go for the early gold base previously against Terran players. And there it is. He does plot down that third. Oh boy. Astrea, you madman. You absolutely crazy madman. Oh, unfortunately for him though, that Reaper will scout. Oh man, imagine if Astrea was able to take out that Reaper earlier on. Like, he wouldn't have been able to scout this. But now that GUMIHO has scouted this, what will be his response? I mean, surely he's got to put on some sort of pressure, right? You would imagine that he is going to punish Astrea for going for it. But I guess we shall wait and see. Currently there are, let's see here. Yeah, there's going to be 3 racks. So yeah, if you wanted to, you can put on some pressure and go for like a stim timing. Just a couple of medevacs. Maybe, you know, do a drop while he's attacking. Because right now, if he does send his entire, if Astrea sends his entire force to the gold base to defend, that leaves his main base vulnerable. Oh, actually, Q play there, scaring. I mean, truly, he would know that you can't really get a Colossus that early, right? Unless he's like maybe proxying, but He's got to know that it was a hallucination. Or maybe GUMIHO doesn't know. Kind of hard to say. But here we go. Another unit force going towards that third gold base. And actually lifting up. Oh man. There's like nothing. There's going to be no defense here at the gold base. You just might need to just retreat his entire army here. Oh, I think with the additional weapons and the reinforcements here, looks like Astrea will actually hold this, which is pretty huge. But look at a huge blob of red on the minimap. The reinforcements of GUMIHO are coming to arrive to help reinforce this push. Combat shield just finished, and there's no blink for these stalkers. There's no upgrades. This is going to be such a tough hold here for Astrea. No Colossus, no blink, no charge. He's gonna have to forfeit it. Yeah, and this is the reason why it's so risky to take this gold base here. Oh, nice catch. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think we might be headed into a game number 5 here. I mean, it's still not completely over for Astrea, but I mean, you know, this pretty much he has enough workers to almost saturate 3 base economy, but I mean, losing that gold base, that gold nexus, I mean, he's going to be a little bit behind on the economy. But as I say that, you know what? GUMIHO, I guess he wasn't consistently making SCVs. He invested a lot into that push there, so you know what? Maybe it's just anyone's game here still. I mean, he does. You know, Astrea does still have +1 upgrade. Thermal Lance is about to finish. His upgrade's a little bit, you know, delayed in terms of like blink and charge, but blink has finished. Charge is starting up right now. But as long as he has the Colossus, he should be okay. Even the Dark Shrine coming up, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, this is just such a hard map to defend. So spread out the bases, so really important for Astrea to split up his units correctly. Make sure he has an army to defend the main, as well as that third base. It's a pretty long distance between all these bases. So, and when you have an army that is compiled with Colossus, it's not going to be the most mobile unit. It's not the most mobile army, so making sure you're in the correct position, making sure that you have the vision on the map, whether it's you know, spotter pylons or spotter zealots. Gotta make sure where your opponent is at. Gonna be also helpful to get that watchtower, because this is of course one of the maps that does have a watchtower. That giving that extra vision gonna be so important. Oh, another fight here. Oh wow, these Colossus are quite vulnerable. Great catch there by GUMIHO. Looks like Astrea will go ahead and be able to push this back. But I believe there's a DT swiping away at the natural. We did see 9 SCVs going down there. Alright, a little bit of a dance around by these two players. Oh wow. What a great warping. My goodness. I didn't even see that. I think that just might be it. There's just too much damage here. From a couple of DTs. DTs for the win, guys. DTs for the win. And then Astrea does have the gold base. He, you know, he's like, if I was not able to get the gold base earlier on, well, by golly, I will take it. 11 minutes into the game. Or at least near the 12-minute mark. And Astrea, his army is going to get scarier and scarier by the second as he does incorporate these disruptors. A lot of charge lot though into this army, so maybe with some kiting, GUMIHO can make it work. But the kiting doesn't really quite work out with Colossus in the mix because of the long range. And oh my god, once again, warpins into the base of GUMIHO, and that is it. Astrea, he is going to go ahead and clinch the series 3-1. What an amazing play. DTs for the win, guys. DTs are good.